Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce the world to a new leadership style. It's called leading from the back. It's an innovative leadership style which is apt for the industrial era that we live in, which is powered by AI. Before I get into from the back, let's start and share how the most popular and the most prevalent leadership style in the world, which is called leading from the front, took birth. For that, I'll have to take you back 200 years when the Industrial Revolution was at its peak. It started producing goods so much that it could not be locally consumed. And the industry revolution leaders had a problem how to sell their produce. So they looked at two institutions for help. The first institution was the church, which was headed by a pope, and second was the military establishment headed by a general. Both these institutions had similarities. There was pope on one side, general on the other side. Both had power centralized in them, and their words were obeyed. And to make sure that their words were obeyed, what did they do? They had a command and control structure. The Industrial Revolution leaders, in their wisdom, decided to vote for the military. And they took inspiration from the military and they actually embraced it. What did they do? They replaced the general with the CEO, who was omnipotent, omniscient. His word was command, and to make sure that his words were obeyed, the organization structure, the business, copied the command and control system. This system worked well for over a century till the dawn of Industry 4.0, which is powered by AI. And you know, whenever any technology powered by AI collides with any industry, any idea, it disrupts it. And so was the case with the style of leadership. Because as soon as Industry 4.0 entered, it brought in its wake three big upheavals. The first upheaval was the amount of knowledge and information with which people and the world got inundated. It was not possible for one man to know it all now. Second upheaval that came along with it was the unpredictability and the disruption and the geopolitical risk. With this, the command and control, which is a very rigid structure, was just not able to cope with this unpredictability and uncertainty and the geopolitical risk. And lastly, the entry of millennials, Gen Z, and soon to follow Alpha. They abhor the omniscient, omnipotent, one person knowing all, and the command and control system that is so prevalent, and they refuse to work in this. Therefore, if these three upheavals are in the time that we live in, then what happens? Truly, leading from the front leadership style is broken because it represents one person who's omniscient, omnipotent, and whose word is a command, and he follows command and control structure to actually get his thoughts implemented. That will not be followed now. So the question is, what next? For me to give you an idea what the world should follow next, let me narrate a story to you. It pertains to ISRO. Professor Satish Dhawan in late 1970s was the boss, and working under him was Dr. Abdul Kalam. And the project that they were working was SLV. The D-Day came when the satellite had to be put out into the orbit. The boss, Mr. Satish Dhawan, took the back seat and he was monitoring the operation through a monitor from his office. And Dr. Abdul Kalam and his team, they were right up there taking decision to put the satellite up in the orbit. The countdown began. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 0. Zoom. But the satellite, instead of going up in the sky, fell into the Bay of Bengal. As soon as Professor Satish Dhawan noticed it, he ran and he told Dr. Abdul Kalam, I'll face the press. And he went to the press and said, I trust my team. Of course, they have failed this time, but I trust my team that next time they will succeed. Next year, the same routine repeated. Professor Satish Dhawan was in his office at the back trying to monitor the operation. Dr. Abdul Kalam and his team were right up there and they were taking the decisions. And again the countdown began. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 0, zoom. And the satellite went up and it went up. It did its job. This time, Professor Satish Dhawan went over to Dr. Abdul Kalam and said, now you go and face the press. In this small story that I narrated to you, what are the key takeaways? The first key takeaway is that in ISRO at that time, leadership was not centralized, it was distributed. The team that was headed by Dr. Abdul Kalam was empowered and it was intrinsically motivated. The third big thing that you would notice is that when the team had a setback, it is the boss who took the fall. And when the team succeeded, the boss allowed the spotlight to be on the team. And what did this empowered team do? They achieved the impossible. That is the essence of the new style of leadership, and which is what we are presenting to the world and labeling it as leading from the back. So, ladies and gentlemen of the world, if you need and if you want to embrace leading from the back, then you certainly require a framework. It's only when you have a framework that you can actually internalize it and make it a part of your muscle memory. So, let me present to you the framework which can help you lead from the back. Leading from the back, the framework has three basic pillars. The first pillar is about self. How should you be if you need to lead from the back? And there are three elements that you need to inculcate, imbibe in yourself to lead from the back. First is that you should have an open mind. The second thing is that you should work with a sense of ownership. And the third thing is that you should be detached. You should not focus on the outcome. You should focus only on what is in your control. Having inculcated these competencies in yourself, now focus on building an empowered team. What are the three elements required to build an empowered team? Simple. Create trust. Once trust is created, then the team members can collaborate among each other and leverage each other's strength. This is the heart of creating an empowered team. Having learned the competencies and inculcated it in yourself of open mind, of sense of ownership, of being detached, then creating empowered, powerful teams by creating a sense of trust, collaboration, and leveraging strength, then allow the team to go and do the task. And that has also three elements. The first element is let the team go and test the limit of what they think they can achieve. Just go for the impossible. Having done that, then they need to follow a strategy which is called look outside in. What is look outside in? It's a very simple thing. Take the task, the big task that you have in mind, break it up into small parts, and then if you solve those small parts or those small problems, then automatically the big problem gets solved. And the third thing, which is very, very important, is be tough softly. To work in the team, there are people who are professionals. Be extremely demanding from them when it comes to result. But on the other side, you should also remember these people who are working as professionals are also human beings. They would have the normal kind of problem that all of us have as humans, right? We are fathers, we are children, we have spouses, etc. So we need to treat our professionals like human beings. We have to be more humane. Now, if you follow this framework and make it a part of your muscle memory and practice it every day, then you are becoming a leader who can lead from the back. You would look at me and say, have you ever shared this concept in any part of the world? Now, let me share this with you. We have shared this thought in over 100 places in India, the UK, Dubai, Singapore, Nepal, in various business schools, social organizations, and corporates. And we got 3 feedbacks. Most of the people intuitively agree with the concept and the framework that I shared with you. Number 2, and the most heartening part, is that many people, not just in India but across the world, are intuitively following this leadership called leading from the back. But then you will ask me, if people are already following, then why isn't it a known style of leadership? The answer is very simple. The people who follow this style of leadership, which is leading from the back, they don't believe on the spotlight to be on them. They don't believe on self-glorification. They only want the work to speak for themselves, and therefore they are not in the spotlight. There are 2 other things that are extremely good points or that come along with leading from the back. AI is the hottest thing that's happening, and every organization sooner or later has to ride this tiger. And what we did was an empirical research to find out the success rate of organizations which have embraced AI. And what we discovered actually was very surprising. Out of 100 organizations which embraced AI, 75% of them failed. When we asked the next question, why did you fail in adopting AI? The answer was very surprising. It was not the technology, it was not the algorithm, it was people's issue. People in the company where AI was being adopted were not open-minded, they didn't trust each other, and so on and so forth. And when we did a deep analysis, what we realized was another thing. The companies that succeeded, the 25% companies that succeeded in adopting AI, had in their company all the traits of leading from the back, the framework to which I had alluded. What's the conclusion? If any company wishes to adopt AI in times to come, then they need to embrace leading from the back style of leadership, because it will improve the chances of them adopting AI. The second thing pertains to attracting and retaining talent. Today, attrition rate is a big challenge. And therefore, when we did an empirical research, what we found was that millennials, Gen Z, and Alpha Zen, they prefer to work in organizations which display the 9 competencies of leading from the back, which I just shared with you. So if you embrace leading from the back leadership style, then you would be able to attract and retain talent, particularly the millennials, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha. And lastly, but not the least, if you do all this, then the chances of your company growing at a faster rate improve substantially. Therefore, let me just highlight what are the benefits that will accrue to you if you lead from the back. First benefit that will come to you is decision making will not be centralized, it will be distributed. Second, you will have empowered teams. Number 3, these empowered teams will be intrinsically motivated. You do not have to motivate them, they will be self-motivated. And once that happens, do you know what will happen to you? As leader, you will have more time to spend on long-term strategic issue and future ready your company for the future. In addition to that, as I mentioned, if you embrace and practice leading from the back style of leadership, then your company will have a greater chance of adopting AI. Not just that, if you embrace this leadership style, you will be able to attract and retain talent. And the next 2 benefits are very personal. If you embrace leading from the back style of leadership, you will have more time to spend on your health and well-being. And last and the most important thing is that you'll have more time to spend with your family. And lastly, when all these things happen, then your company will grow at a faster rate. And therefore, I make a proposition to the world. The proposition to the world is that leading from the front as a leadership style is broken. It no longer can be used to solve the problem that Industry 4.0 brings in its wake. Therefore, it's time to say goodbye to leading from the front, and it is time to welcome leading from the back as a leadership style. This is the innovative style that can help you in an AI powered world to create value, to have your health and well being, to spend quality time with your family, and to grow your business. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.